Welcome back. Have you ever dreamed about being one of those influencers with 1 million views on your videos on YouTube, or maybe 10,000 likes or engagements on your posts on social media, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you are on Facebook or X or Instagram? Today's guest has a treat for you. The title of today's conversation, the context for today's conversation is Be Everywhere, Every Day, All at Once. How to be omnipresent on social media with just 15 minutes of work on your part. Now, I know you're thinking, this is unbelievable. It's too good to be true. But I'll tell you this, Ethan King, who is our guest today, never comes on the Daily Huddle to say something he hasn't done before. He literally toils and refines what he's about to share with us, knowing that it's a hack that has produced results for him and will produce results for you as well. Ethan's very generous that way. He's not just a best-selling author and TEDx speaker. He's a living testament to the power of entrepreneurial vision and grit. As a former Atlanta chapter president of Entrepreneurs Organization and the co-founder of Zeus's Closet, Ethan's journey from a starving artist to a celebrated CEO embodies the spirit of small business innovation and resilience. Whether he's coaching executives, transforming companies through AI and automation, or energizing audiences to level up personally and professionally, Ethan's passion is unlocking human potential through not so obvious hacks. His latest venture, Simple Success School, empowers the dreamers just like you, the hungry hustlers just like you, the radical pursuers of excellence, to not just build wildly profitable businesses, but to truly have it all on their own terms. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my good friend, Ethan King. Good morning, Ethan.
Good morning. Good morning, Sorrel. Thanks for having me back here. It's good to be back on the Daily Huddle.
Oh my God, Ethan. I mean, this context question is just unbelievable. It's enticing, it's attractive. It makes people want to go, what? And then they go, I don't think that's real. So what do you want to say about that title, man?
All right. Yeah, I'm going to dive in here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because in the next 20 minutes, you're going to want to pay close attention to what I teach you. And this started because, a lot of my friends and followers are like, man, I see you on my social media feed all the time, like every day. Like, are you always on social media? I'm like, no, I don't have time to do that. I figured out, but I think it's important to be done. So I figured out how to have a presence on social media without it just sucking away your time and your energy, because it can really be a drain on your life. And we have so many tools available to us today, and a lot of people either aren't using them or they're using them wrong. So I wanted to share with you guys, exactly the hacks that I'm using today, and you can implement this for yourself. So I call this Every Day, Everywhere, All at Once. It's kind of inspired by the Oscar-winning movie. And,
I know.
Yeah, which I love that movie, by the way. But it's all about how to be omnipresent on social media with really just 15 minutes of work per day on your part. And as you know, Sorrel, I am all about simple shifts and massive wins in your life, because a lot of things we do, we just make it too hard on ourselves. And whether it's, I've been on here talking about fitness before with Six Pack Dads. I've been on here talking about entrepreneurship and leadership and business stuff before. You've probably heard, if you follow me on my TED Talks, I talk about life balance. And my whole mantra is that I believe there are 6 dimensions of life: your spirituality, intellect, money, your physical presence, your love and relationships, and entertainment. And today we are talking about money because this is the Business Friday podcast, right? So your social media presence, whether it's personal or professional, it will help you save time and make more money in your business. And that's what we're diving into today. So this started with, I had a chance to interview Gary Vee a couple of years ago. And Gary Vee, if you guys don't follow him, Gary Vaynerchuk, he's very, very big on social media. And I think he has a new book coming out called Day Trading Attention. And he's like, yeah, post a TikTok 5 times a day, post Instagram 3 times a day, do this and do that, be on LinkedIn. And at the time of this interview, this was back in 2001, I said, Gary, I don't have time to do all of that. I'm running a business. How do I have time to post on social media all day? And he's like, well, just stop doing dumb stuff. He didn't use that word, but I won't use the explicit word that he used. And it just didn't make sense to me at the time. Like, how can I possibly do this and run my business at the same time? Well, fast forward to today, and now we have the tools at our fingertips, like ChatGPT and all the automation tools that I'm going to teach you today. But before we dive into that, let's talk a little bit about the philosophy behind it. And I want to share with you guys a story, a fable about the pottery class, because a lot of people ask me, well, should we post on social media every day? Is that overexposure? Is that too much? Shouldn't you focus on quality posts over quantity posts? So I'd like to share this fable about the pottery class, where one of the students asked the teacher, like, hey, should we focus on quality or should we focus on quantity when it comes to making our ceramic pots? And the teacher said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to split the class into 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Group A, I want you to make a pot every day for the next 30 days. You have to make a brand new pot every single day for the next 30 days. Group B, I want you to just spend the next 30 days crafting one perfect pot. Like, give me your best one piece. You're going to spend the whole time working on this one piece and make it your best. So at the end of this kind of competition, they had an exhibition, and they had the community come out and rank the top 3 pieces of pottery. Now, which group do you think had the most winners? A or B? Well, it was the group that had to make a pot every single day, Group A. Why? Few reasons. One, they got the reps in. They got to practice more than Group B did, because Group B only spent all that time working on one pot, whereas Group A got to correct each day and learn from all of their mistakes. They also had a higher quantity, a higher volume of pots out there to be judged from. So therefore, they had the higher chances of winning as well. So when I tell people that this illustrates the quality versus quantity conundrum, but I tell people it's both. But you need to focus on the quantity first and have a presence out there every day on social media, and then your quality will get better as well. Now, a consistent social media presence compounded over time builds know, like, and trust. And as you know, in business, Sorrel, it's all about relationships. Whether you're B2B or you're B2C or direct to consumer, all business boils down to relationships. We're going to do business with people that we know, that we like, that we trust. And if you're not out there making noise about your business, it's like that old saying, like, if a tree falls in the woods, does anybody hear it? Well, who knows? If you're not making noise, you can have the greatest business in the world, but if people don't know about it, then nobody's going to do business with you. Really, all business it boils down to marketing. So what we're going to talk about today is how to look like you have a big PR media team when you really have no budget and no time. And I learned this because there have been so many times. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 22 years now, Sorrel. And you asked me earlier, like, am I still running Zeus's Closet? Yep, I'm still running it. We're doing better than ever. But I've learned how to maximize automation and efficiencies. So it looks like we have a big PR media team when I really don't have a big budget and I really have very little time to spend on marketing. So if you're not already using ChatGPT, please go to chat.openai.com and install it. Now, at this point, ChatGPT came out in November of 2022. Yeah, so it's been out for about a year and a half now. I hope everyone is using this. You should really have it open in a browser tab all the time because it is the greatest tool that is available to us right now that can do so many cool things that I'm about to show you. But most people are using ChatGPT incorrectly. So what you want to do is first prompt it. So this is the first thing you do. You say, I'm going to feed you some excerpts from my writing, and I want you to analyze my writing and speaking style. Then I want you to craft a prompt for my custom instructions that will help you speak in my voice. Do you understand? And then you're going to feed ChatGPT some excerpts from your writing. It's going to give you a prompt back that is going to describe your writing style. So what we're doing here is crafting your ChatGPT to not sound like AI, but to actually speak in your voice and to sound like you. And then when you go down in the bottom corner of your ChatGPT, you're going to put that description in that bottom box where it says your writing style description. How do you want ChatGPT to respond? That's where you're going to put that. And in the box above that, in your custom instructions, you're going to tell ChatGPT about you, about your business, your podcast, your life goals. Like, give it as much background as possible because that's also going to shape the responses. So this is critical. Like, most people, you can tell when someone has used ChatGPT just out of the box to generate a prompt because you can it just sounds like AI all day with the title case and emojis and things like that. So this is the most crucial step to prep your ChatGPT to sound like you. And I highly recommend using the paid version so that you get access to ChatGPT 4.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. This is the part where people get to configure ChatGPT.
Exactly.
Right? So, like you were saying, you don't take it out of the box. You configure it. You actually tell it, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I believe. This is what I love. And this is how I sound when I speak. And I want you to sound like me when you write for me. Do you understand?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And go out there and grab it. You know, if you've written articles online, copy and paste some of your social media posts, anything that's in your voice. If you have a podcast like your show, you can take a transcript of that and then put that into ChatGPT, but give it as much content as you can so that it understands the sound of your voice and how you speak. And then you're going to ask it to write a description for itself. So you're saying to ChatGPT, write a description of my writing and speaking style for ChatGPT. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, the next thing you're going to do is go to this website, helpofreporter.com. This is also referred to as Haro, Haro. Now, what this is a source where journalists are looking for stories to write on in different segments. Could be business, lifestyle, cooking, fitness, household, travel, all kinds of different subjects that journalists for all types of different publications want to write on. So they're looking for subject matter experts. Well, guess what? If you run a business, you are that subject matter expert. So you sign up at helpofreporter.com, and then you can check the boxes of your different realms of expertise. And then what it's going to show you is actual queries that journalists are looking for related to your subject matter of expertise. So, for example, this was one that I found a while back about personal branding in the digital age, strategies for professionals and entrepreneurs. A journalist wanted to write about this, and they're putting it out there like, hey, if you have any expertise in this, please send me the information, send me the article, and we may or may not publish it. So you go on Haro and you get these queries. Now that you've tuned to ChatGPT, I'm going to get my ChatGPT to write the article for me in my brand voice. Now, so here's how you do it. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, this is my prompt in ChatGPT. I say, you are an expert copywriter. Help me write an article for a publication based on this query. So that first sentence is critical because ChatGPT can assume the role of anyone else in the universe. You can tell ChatGPT that you are Mickey Mouse, and it will speak in the voice of Mickey Mouse. You are Arnold Schwarzenegger. It'll speak in the voice of Arnold Schwarzenegger. ChatGPT has the entire knowledge of the internet, anything that's been written out there. So it really has the knowledge of all of human history. It is like your super intelligent best friend that will do anything you ask it to do, pretty much, as long as it's not malicious. So you start up your prompt by telling it how you want it to act. You are an expert copywriter. Help me write an article for a publication based on this query. Then I copied and pasted the query into ChatGPT. And then at the end, I said, be sure to include tips of how I've custom tailored ChatGPT to help write in my voice, how I use Opus to chop up long form pillar content into viral clips, and then I use Later to schedule those clips. So I'm giving it real things that I've actually done so that it uses that to incorporate into the article. And then it's going to generate an output. It wrote an article for me. And to be on the safe side, I ran it through an AI content detector, and it came back as 100% human generated content. Now, this is straight from ChatGPT, but because I've tailored it to speak in my voice, the AI checker thinks that it's human generated content. And remember, it contains real things that I actually did in there. So I'm not just using it straight out of the box. I'm not telling falsehoods. I just used it to help me write. And I want to say something here. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, this is cheating. Well, you use calculators and spreadsheets every day, right? You could do long division by hand. We all learned how to do long division in the 5th grade. But why would you when we're all walking around with calculators in our pockets? Well, ChatGPT and these AI tools that are coming out left and right every single day, these are the new calculators. And if you're not using them, then you're falling behind. So you
pause for a moment, brother. Now, AI content detector. So I want to string the whole thing the way I'm getting it.
Mm-hmm.
I first configure ChatGPT to speak in my voice by telling ChatGPT who I am, feeding it samples of my writing. So when it generates an article for me speaking in my voice, it's actually an AI called ChatGPT generating that content. Now, when AI content detector goes and analyzes this, what makes that not AI generated, but human content?
It is AI generated, but because it has synthesized and written it in your style of speaking, it seems like it's human generated because it's talking in your voice. Does that make sense?
Perfect. That makes sense. I wanted to make sure that everyone hears that piece. It's like having an executive assistant. You know, I'm the CEO of Coca-Cola. I do not write my own letters.
That's right.
And those letters sound like me.
That's exactly right. Cool. That's exactly right. In fact, I'm glad that you brought up that example of having an executive assistant write for you. I mean, we used to see this. You see it in movies now, but back in the day, I mean, I guess people still do it, but the boss would literally dictate to the assistant, and the assistant would be sitting there typing what the boss was saying. Well, whether you're talking to a human or an AI, the quality of the results that you get from your assistant is only as good as the input and the clarity that you give in your request. So ChatGPT, being your assistant, you have told it very specifically exactly how you want to write, the tone of voice that you use, and it's going to starts writing and speaking exactly how you speak, because that's how smart it is. That's a great example. So that's why it passes the AI checker. And then the next thing to watch out for.
Where do you access the AI checker?
So there's several of them out there. If you just do a Google search for like AI content detector, and some of them are free, some of them are bombarded with ads. But I'll put a link to my favorite ones in there. It's on Writer app, WRITER, and but you can find a bunch of them out there, and you just copy and paste your text in there, and then it'll scan it for you. There's also plagiarism checkers, and you can see the URL in this one. Plagiarismdetector.net is one of my favorite ones because it doesn't have a lot of ads on it. But the reason you want to check for plagiarism is because ChatGPT, it is getting its information from the internet. So that's stuff that has already been written before. And then it's synthesizing it to write in your voice. But there's a chance you don't want to accidentally plagiarize someone else. So you want to make sure that you're not doing that. And this article that I had ChatGPT write for me in my voice came back as 92% unique and 8% plagiarized. So there was a title in there that it came up with that happened to be a title that already existed somewhere on the internet. So all I need to do is change that title. So the next thing you're going to do is submit that article. You can submit it to the journalist. Now, 9 times out of 10, at least in my experience, you may not ever hear anything from the journalist. But sometimes your article will get published in a publication. Now, some of those publications are going to be smaller than others, but hey, you shoot your shot and you could get published. Whether you get published or not, you now have a piece of written content that you can repurpose into a blog post on your website, into an email newsletter, into a LinkedIn article. Maybe you publish it on Medium, or you can publish it on X in a series of tweets called a tweet storm, or on Instagram threads. But again, it is important to make sure that your content contains your personal anecdotes, your personal experiences that you have actually done, and your viewpoints. You want to do that not just to pass a plagiarism test and a human generated content test, but because it's ethically the right thing to do. You're talking about things that you've actually done. You're just getting your assistant to write it for you. So this is an example of taking that same written content, and now you can repurpose it into a bunch of tweets. And I had ChatGPT do that for me by saying, and this is all in the same thread conversation. I say, repurpose the article into a 10-tweet tweet storm. And then you can go further to use that article as material for your podcast. Or if you do an Instagram Live or a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live, you can have it actually generate a script for you that you could just read from if you wanted to read from a teleprompter. A lot of people are very apprehensive of being on camera. It's like, oh, I don't know what to say. Well, if you can read, then you can be on camera. There are teleprompter apps where you can just put it up there. Or if you're on your computer, you could just have a document off to the side and look near your camera and just read off of that. But either way, you're using the text that it generated to now generate video material for you. And you can take that video material and then strip out the audio, and then you can have a podcast. And here's the tool that I like to use for that. It's called Allphonic. It's free. I think you get 2 hours free every month, which is very generous. But you can drop a video in Allphonic, and AI will not only, it can strip out the audio and give you an audio file, but it will also normalize the audio and adjust the quality of it to make it sound better, removing background noise and things like that. So that's allphonic.com.
Ethan, does it also create the little music thing that makes it sound like something that's recorded in an engineering studio, or is it just pure audio on Allphonic?
Allphonic is purely for your audio editing. It doesn't add music to the background. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next step is, now that you have this long video, because you want to start out with this is what I call your pillar content, your long video that you took from your article. Then you had to generate a script or at least some prompts or some interview questions so that you create a long video. You publish that to your YouTube account, and then you can use this this tool called Opus Clip. And all you do is put your YouTube link in there, and it will, using AI, analyze your long video and chop it into like TikTok and Instagram size videos. And then it will score each video clip as to the likelihood of it being viral. So if I were to scroll down this page, like it analyzed this clip from my podcast, Kingspiration, that I do with my buddy Justin King in South Africa. And it said this clip has a 99 score chance of going viral. And it does this all using AI. All right, so that's Opus Clip. Now, then you're going to use ChatGPT to write your captions for social media. And again, you prompt it by telling it how you want it to act. You are an expert social media copywriter. Use this video transcript to write a clever Instagram caption to go with the video. The goal is to get viewers to share the post and or interact in the comments. And Opus can actually auto post those clips to your social media accounts for you with one click of a button. All you have to do is just sync it to your different accounts one time, and then it'll push out to your YouTube Shorts. It'll push out to your TikTok, to your Instagram Reels.
Time out, Ethan. Is Opus a free tool?
It's free to an extent. They, they give you a little bit of a free trial, and then it's paid. I think it's like $15 a month.
But Opus is what makes you look omnipresent.
Yes, that's one tool. So Opus does it. Or there's another tool that I actually like a little bit better because it has more functionality. It's called Later. If you go to later.com, Later, you take all of that video content, all of the chopped up videos, and you put them in a library. So if you see over here on the left side of the screen, I have my library of content, and then I can just drag it out onto this calendar and schedule my social media posts for an entire month, for an entire 2 months. I can tell it exactly what day, what time of day I want each post to happen. And I can put my captions, my hashtags, everything in there. So then it just runs automatically after that.
Ethan, will it work for now for us to pause for a moment and hear some questions and reactions from the audience? I know Tara's in here. She asked about how to download ChatGPT, and
you said the address, and I didn't catch the whole thing. I didn't even know it was downloadable. Chat.openai.something.
Yep. Let me do this. Let me share it, and I'll go over it with you guys real time.
Well, while you're doing that, since my mouse is on here, I'm going to say my mind is blown, and this is I
figured that.
I am speechless. I didn't even know you were the guest. I was like, I haven't seen Sorrel in a while. I'm going to pop on Friday.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so chat.openai.com. And actually, so I'm going to go in a new browser window and just go incognito so you can see.
And Tara, it's not, you don't download it. You actually use it online.
Okay.
Your browser.
That's how I've been doing it then. Okay.
You can use it in any web browser, on a computer, on a phone. There's also a phone app. So when you first go to it, it'll look like this, and then you can hit sign up or log in. If you hit sign up.
I've done that. Thank you. I don't want to waste anybody else's precious time with your knowledge. Thank you so much.
And if you, so this is my ChatGPT, and if you have the paid version, which is only $20 a month, I promise you it'll be the best $20 you ever spent. But that unlocks some more capabilities because then you get access to ChatGPT 4, which can search the internet real time. It can create images for you. I don't have time to go into that today, but I do have an AI workshop where we go deep into it. But even the free version, ChatGPT 3.5, it doesn't go up to current day internet, but it is still extremely, extremely powerful. And I think it has knowledge all the way up until like 2022.
And even with 3.5, Ethan, you can still configure it to say, here's
Mm-hmm.
my voice.
And configuring it. So if you go down, like I click on my name down here in the corner, so you would click on your name and you go to customize Chat GPT. And then that's where you tell it about yourself. So I tell it all about telling it about my businesses. I'm co-founder of Stuff for Greeks, Zeus Closet, my wife, my kids, EO, my TEDx talk, my goals in life. And then this right here is how it analyzed my tone. So it said that I speak in an informative and educational tone, structured to guide the reader through a clear journey. Like it came up with this based on my stuff. Now,
defines your brand voice for you.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to give you this bonus tip. Tell it to write on a high school level. And the reason you do that is because ChatGPT is very, very smart and it sounds like a PhD if just out of the box. So I always add that in there, like bring it down a little bit, like make me sound normal. I don't want to always sound like I'm walking around with a doctorate or something. So you can doctor it up. Like I tell it, you don't always have to agree with me. I don't want it to be my yes man. Like I want it to challenge me. I feel like it overuses the words unlock and delve and dive. So those are some advanced things, but you have to craft it to speak in the voice that you want using your custom tools. That's the key thing there.
Yeah, you know, as you said that, Ethan, it reminded me of James Bond's assistant, Moneypenny.
Moneypenny, yeah.
Moneypenny will challenge James every time out. James, no,
Yeah.
you're doing that.
That's what you need, right? Yeah,
exactly. So this is the opportunity to have an executive assistant for $20 a month.
$20 a month. Yep.
Best money you ever spent. Configure it, train it over time, and tell it what to do for you, and it will obey.
That's right.
Kind of like a husband.
Oh my God, Tara, you're so predictable. I was winding you up. You know that.
You'd be the best husband you ever had, right? It'll be, that's a whole nother tangent there. They talk about the future of AI, and AI relationships will be better than human relationships because it knows exactly what to say.
Sad. I've read some about that.
Talk about your love, knowing your love language, right?
That's right. That's right. So I know we're coming to the end of time here, but I want to show you guys the great thing about Later is that you can manage multiple brands through here. So I have one social media assistant that manages like 5 different brands for me and publishes to all of them every single day using the techniques that I've shown you in today's presentation. And this was not possible just 2 years ago. It would have taken a team of people to be able to pull this off. So this is the world we live in, and I want you to really utilize what you have at your fingertips. But you can use Later to publish to all of these different applications right here: YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. And just one warning, you want to be careful and keep an eye on it. Sometimes the social media apps don't really like when you use the automation, so they may limit the visibility, but sometimes not. So if it does that, there's a way to set it so you can go in and manually post things. And then you can also, there are also new applications out there coming out every day, like Lemonade and Clapper. These are social media apps that have just a few people on there, but you have a chance to go on there and be really big and get a lot of attention to your brand because these apps are still emerging and growing. So this is a checklist of everything that you can do within 15 minutes, just using the techniques that I've shown you today. If you want to take a snapshot of that, or watch the recording and take a snapshot. And this is just a breakdown of what we did. But in summary, you take that long video, you chop it up, you have ChatGPT write the transcript and the captions for you, and then you drop it into Later for your scheduling. This shows you that Facebook is still the big player. Here we are on Facebook Live. Most people are actually still on Facebook, but YouTube is a close second. So and then Instagram is after that. So just make sure you're everywhere, because your clients may have their certain flavor that they like. They may like to be on TikTok or Instagram. And if you don't have a presence there, you could be missing out on opportunities. You can hire someone to help you with this by going on Fiverr.com and just searching for things like, I'll repurpose edit your long video content into short form content or clips. And I would recommend you show your social media assistant this recording today and have them use AI and do this process and not do it the hard way. You can also post a request on Fiverr to hire someone that way. But just remember, be everywhere, every day, all at once, because you never know who's watching. Tyler Perry had to put himself out there for Oprah to see him and give him that chance to really shine brightly. Issa Rae had her series on YouTube. If she hadn't done that, then HBO wouldn't have picked up her series. Sarah Blakely had to be out there with Spanx in order for her to get picked up by the stores and become the billion-dollar company and the billionaire that she is today. So don't hold back. Put your brand out there. Put yourself out there, because you never know who's watching and what it may lead to. And I'm working on a book called ChatGPT to Double Your Business in 90 Days. For my Daily Huddle family here, you can get the book for free if you scan this QR code. You can get it for absolutely free. You pre-order it when it comes out, just cover shipping and handling, and the book will be mailed to you as soon as it's released this summer. Oh, and if you're interested, I do have a workshop coming up, but you also get a discount on that when you buy the book. So I'll go back to that and you'll get the emails about it if you want to scan that QR code. All right, so any last questions here?
Come on, last questions. We're extending it by another 2 minutes.
All right, I got one more question then. Can you recommend your favorite teleprompter app?
Yes, BigView, BIGVU is my current favorite.
Thank you.
BIGVU.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ethan, you have just made, you promised, you said, I'm not going to make you millionaires. I can at least show you a way to go in that direction. That was just tremendous value. It never fails. Whenever Ethan King is on the Daily Huddle, you walk away with tremendous value. And that's what the Daily Huddle is all about. So, Ethan, I want to thank you for being the kind of partner that not only demonstrates that kind of generosity, you are a giver at heart. And that has never stopped since we've met. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Kind of guide for our Daily Huddle family.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
So as this thing progresses, I'd love to see you back so we can do round 2.
Yeah, for sure. There's so much content to cover here. We just scratched the surface. So feel free to reach out anytime if you want to go deeper.
That sounds great. Well, folks, this is your Daily Huddle for today. As you know, we're here every day, and possibly soon you'll see us everywhere, all the time, anywhere.
Love it. Love it.
Thanks to Ethan King. Follow us on YouTube at The Daily Huddle and join us every single weekday, Monday through Friday. We're here for you to give you a shot in the arm and a shot in the heart and equip you with all of the tools, techniques, and hacks you need to have the life you want and the business you want. So go forth, have a phenomenal weekend. Remember to love, laugh, stress less, eat well, sleep, give, and move your body. But last but not least, check your assumptions. Because you know what? You know what they say, but I'm not going to say it here. Have a great weekend. Good to see you, Tara. Good to see you.
Thank you, Daily Huddle family. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ethan. Bye. Excellent job.